Well, howdy, everybody. It's me, Tony. I am back with my first post chemo update, and it isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I didn't know what to expect yesterday going into it, other than I knew I was going to be sitting in a chair for a very long time. It was a very long day. We left the house right about 7 o'clock, I think. And my first appointment was to get some blood work done at 9, which I'll have to do before every chemo appointment. And then I met with the doctor at 9:45 to go over the drugs that she would be giving me, the regimen I'd be doing, instructions, just go over questions that we had. It was a really informative session meeting with the doctor, and I really like her. She's a great doctor, specializes in the types of cancer that I have. So that was really nice to know. And I knew that beforehand, but you can tell she's really knowledgeable. Like when Jill brought up some questions about a new drug that had just come out like a week or two ago over in Europe, and they're trying to get the FDA approval and all that stuff here in the United States, she knew exactly what she was talking about. And it's a clinical trial that's had a lot of success with more or less doubling the number of people that reach the like 5 year survival rate that pancreatic cancer has. So I'm hoping at some point maybe we can look into that, but I have to be doing chemo for a while before that happens. So yeah, and then after that, I think that meeting lasted half an hour, 45 minutes maybe. And then I had to wait until 1 o'clock when it was time to actually start the chemo. So we went and did some errands, got some lunch, filled up the car with gas, did all the, boring stuff that you do. And then 1 o'clock came around. We got back. We had to be back at 12:30 to check in. Chemo was supposed to start at 1. It didn't start till probably about 1:30, I think. Before we went in at 12 or 12:30, I have this lidocaine cream that they want me to put on because they've given me, I don't know if you know, for chemo patients, they have a port, and I have it. It's right here, just under my collarbone. It's under the skin. And they had me put on this lidocaine powder to numb this area so that when they access the port with this like 2-inch needle, it doesn't hurt as bad. Not entirely sure that the lidocaine worked as well as it was supposed to, because I think I felt every millimeter of that 2 inches going into my skin and into the port. It didn't hurt that bad, but I felt it. I really felt it. Pain went away really quickly though, once they got everything hooked up. And then I was doing 2 drugs yesterday. I don't remember what they are. I've got the list. It's over in the bedroom. So they did those 2 drugs through the IV drip in my port. And then I have a third drug that they gave me, and it's in this nice little stylish fanny pack here that I have to carry around with me for 2 days after that. So tomorrow I get to take it. I get to have the port unplugged, and then I'll be off that, and then start it all over again in 2 weeks. This isn't as annoying as I thought it was going to be to just carry around. It's just I don't know, there's a tube going from it. It's a little, like, looks like a lemon, basically. And it's just pressure. And it sends the drug out at about 2 milliliters per hour. And I had previously, at one point through this whole ordeal, I had sepsis, and I had 2 drains in my abdomen, and those were annoying to deal with. They just hung off, and I had to figure out ways to get them to keep from like pulling on the areas around my skin that they were plugged into. This hasn't been that big a deal, actually. I slept with it fine. Just had it sitting next to me the whole time. I fell asleep, and it's been fine. But back to the actual chemo treatment. They got me hooked up. I was sitting in the chair, and they told me it was going to take about 4.5 hours, 4.5 to 5 hours, which I knew. The first thing that they did before they did the actual chemo drugs was they gave me a steroid, some nausea medicine, and they gave me some IV Benadryl. And let me tell you, that is the strongest medicine I think I have ever had. That Benadryl, I could feel it within about 2 minutes. My eyelids got real heavy. I was very, very sleepy because Benadryl, you know, Benadryl is basically the same thing as medicine you use to take if you're having trouble sleeping. Um, and it was within about 2 minutes of that Benadryl drip starting, I was ready to just fall asleep. And I did. I slept through most of my chemo treatment yesterday. I woke up every once in a while, if they were coming in to tell me they were doing something like changing the medicine. At one point, they needed to give me a shot in my stomach for cramps because one of the medicines, one of the side effects is some really nasty cramps. But I didn't have any of that after they gave me the shot. So I guess it did its job. But yeah, it was altogether a fairly uneventful day, really, in the grand scheme of things. I was expecting all kinds of side effects like nausea, but they gave me that medicine. They sent me home. I have a prescription for nausea medicine here while I'm taking this, and I haven't needed it so far. I have felt really, really good. I was expecting to have all kinds of side effects, like just being completely out of it, sleepy, nauseous. They also did say that one of the drugs could make me very, very, very sensitive to cold. And I've avoided cold for the most part today, but I did I did have some water straight out of the fridge, and it didn't bother me. So maybe I'm not gonna have that side effect either, which is really nice. I have felt pretty good all day today, which is nice. Hopefully that continues. I've got to do this for 6 months. We'll see. I don't know if it's just going to be something that builds up over time, and as I get further into it, I start to feel the side effects more, or if because it's every 2 weeks that most of the drugs will be out of my system, and it's just basically going to be the same thing over and over and over again. And if it was as simple as it was yesterday, I couldn't ask for a better outcome than that. It was really, really nice to just get in there, find out exactly what the process was going to be, get the treatment started, see what side effects I was going to have, what side effects I was going to have to deal with. Of course, we're still researching all kinds of other things to do along with the chemo treatment because I'm not a candidate for surgery. Not right now, maybe not ever. I don't know exactly what that entails. If that's just going to be, if it's going to mean I'm going to have to take chemo longer. I am starting to lose my voice a little bit, which they said might be possible. But yeah, altogether, very, very pleased, very, very happy with the outcome so far of day one. I'm sure Jill was probably bored out of her mind sitting there next to me sleeping for 5 hours. But yeah, she's been there, and I was glad she was there. She's making me drink water all day, all the time. Which, I don't like water by itself. I like to have Propel or Gatorade or something, but she is making sure I am staying hydrated, that I'm eating. I had some catfish a little while ago for dinner, and seems to be fine. We're just going to have to continue to work on the diet because the diet has been pretty small over the last 3 weeks since I got out of the hospital. Not a lot of options that I've had, but we're starting to slowly expand that and find out some things that I can and can't eat. The doctor did say, if you want something sweet, eat something sweet. If you want something sour, eat something sour. Just eat what you can tolerate. Of course, there are some things that I can't. I can't do breads or anything like that, or a lot of them, because they expand and the stent in my stomach would be potentially blocked by having a lot of bread type products. So breads, chips, things like that, cereal, I can't have. except for like oatmeal. I can have that because, you know, that expands before it gets into your stomach. So yeah, overall, very, very happy. I'm glad to have a positive report to give you guys and not just, you know, oh, I feel like death has run me over and I just want to sleep all day. No, I have felt pretty good for the most part and looking forward to that being the case going forward. And like I said, I will continue to record videos. I've got some videos planned that I'm working on, like just detailing exactly what I've gone through over the last 2+ years, or almost 2 years, and hopefully getting some other people to come on and talk about their experiences as well, so you can hear how the experience is from different perspectives. So yeah, but I think that's it for today. Thank you for all the prayers and the support that you guys have been giving me. It was nice to see the amount of people that have seen the videos and getting comments and prayers and positivity from people that I don't know. And I'll see you guys again in a few days with another update.